Hello and welcome to this video where I like to give my suggestions of games you need to get on the PlayStation networks before it closes for the PS3, PS Vita and the PSP. And I think we should just start off with Rayman 3 HD. Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc is one of my favorite 3D platformers on the PS2, and the PS3 has an HD version but only digitally. And it does make the game that already looked beautiful on the PS2 look even more fantastic on the PS3. It's a very good platformer where you can collect upgrades that you can use for limited time to help overcome obstacles in a very unique and imaginative settings. I cannot say enough good things about this game. Super nostalgic to me, and the HD version makes it look just as good as I remembered it from when I was a child. Next up we have BloodRayne Betrayal. BloodRayne Betrayal is a 2D hack and slash game with a unique hand-drawn art style, and it is of course based off the BloodRayne franchise, which I think originated as a video game. I'm not that familiar with the franchise, to be honest. It could have been a comic before, I'm not really sure. And it's a super satisfying game. You can decapitate your enemies or stomp on their half-torn bodies as they try to crawl away from you, and it is just sickeningly awesome. And it even brings a little smile when you're the one who gets decapitated, because you get to enjoy the fountain of blood, and this game uses a lot of blood. It's a bit of a tough game, which means that I suck at it, but fans of old school side-scroller will probably have a really good time playing this game. Next up is a game that I feel a lot of people talk about, yet they all say it's super underrated, yet everybody is talking about it, so I don't know, that's not gonna stop me from talking about it. And it is Hard Corps Uprising. Hard Corps Uprising is actually a hidden Contra game, and it is amazing. It plays really well. Your character moves are very fluent, there's plenty of weapon upgrades, some you recognize from previous games, but also some new ones. And even if you're not that great at old school shooters, you can play this and get points which you can use to upgrade your characters and make it a bit more easier for yourself. You can also play the arcade mode if you're into the more hard stuff. I love the Ratchet & Clank games, and the HD trilogy is probably one of the best game collections you can get on the PS3. But they missed one. Wretched Gladiator also did receive an HD version, but only digitally, and Gladiator is probably in my top 5 Ratchet & Clank games. It takes more focus on the combat rather than the platforming, and it uses the arena battles that are used in most of the games as a base for this one. And the arena battles are some of my favorite parts of previous games. The weapons are awesome and feel very powerful. The worst thing about this game is that you don't get to use Clank as a hover mechanism, which makes Ratchet's movement a little more limited, but there's not that much platforming, so you don't notice it that much. The weapons are sweet. Rain is a beautiful game with a unique art style and an amazing soundtrack. You play as a young boy who turned invisible but can be seen under the rain. Hence the name, I guess. And you play with those mechanics while trying to hide from enemies who are also invisible outside the rain. I don't think I ever played anything quite like this, and it's a wonderful experience. There does apparently exist a physical version of this game. I have never come across one in the wild, so I could imagine if you found one, it's probably gonna have a hefty price tag. And the price is only gonna go up after the PlayStation Network closes. So be sure to get the digital version before it's too late. Dead Space Extraction was originally released on the Wii, and it is one of the best light gun games I have ever played. And the PS3 has an HD version of that game. And of course, since it's a Dead Space game, you get to fight the Necromorphs, which are in my opinion a way cooler enemy than your average soldier grunt or zombie that you usually get to fight in a light gun game. And it still feels awesome to shoot the legs off your enemies and watch them crawl towards you while you just whack them with your powerful arsenal of weapons. Infamous is a wonderful game series that makes it so fun to play around with electrically charged superpowers. And the standalone DLC Festival of Blood puts a whole vampire spin to those powers, for once you get to be the blood-sucking parasite. Now, I honestly think in a few years or less we are probably gonna see a remastered collections of the series, where they're probably gonna include Festival of Blood. But until then, the only way to play this is by buying it on the PSN. And more Infamous, why not? We need more Infamous. Like, we need another Infamous.
I hear they named a cocktail after me. The Bloody Mary. Oh God, I hate that name. Worse yet, it's served with breakfast. When was it ever acceptable to drink before 5 in the afternoon?
Resistance is another franchise I'm hoping for a remaster of. However, I don't think they're gonna include the handheld games, which is a shame. 2 was released, one for the PSP and one for the PS Vita. And Resistance Retribution is one of the best PSP games I have ever played. Good story, great voice acting, and fun gameplay. It's a little on the easy side, but if you're a fan of the main games, you really owe it to yourself to play this. Now, there does exist a relatively cheap physical version of the game, but if you're one of those 5 other people who bought the PS TV, you can play this on the big screen. And that is such a fun way to play the game. Again, if you are a PS TV owner, I really recommend that you buy a lot of PSP games digitally for that reason. Most of, but not all PSP and PS Vita games are supported by the PS TV, and some of these games look great on the big TV, and your chance for buying PSP games digitally will soon disappear.
Hey, we got a live one in here. We got. Oh, Johnny. No, 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 Johnny.
Now, I feel like I want to talk very shortly about the PS1 and PS2 games you can get on the PSN. Since I live in Denmark, our selection of PS1 and PS2 games are drastically limited compared to the US. So basically, I'm just gonna say buy all the games where the physical version have an extreme price tag, such as these Suikoden games. I think I fucked that name up completely. I have honestly not played any of the Suikoden games. I have honestly not played any of those games yet, but I'm told they are great, and buying a physical version of each game, it's gonna leave a big empty hole in your pocket. Since I'm a collector, I prefer to have physical versions of my video games, but whenever I hit those games up on eBay or other game sites, I'm always like, fuck my life when I see the price tag. So no shame in saving a bit of money. Also, since you can play PS1 games on the PSP and PS Vita, it is probably gonna be fun to play them on a handheld on the run. Hell, even if you already own a physical version of a very expensive game, it might be a good idea to buy digitally, so your copy doesn't get any wear and tear from being frequently used. And that was it for this video. I would like to make another one in the near future, so please leave suggestions in the comments of games I should buy and talk about. I feel like I've been rediscovering the PlayStation networks these past couple of weeks, and finding and learning a lot about some games I have never heard of before. I know it's a sad thing they are closing, but I've seen a lot of bonding recently of people talking and sharing memories about games they played over the years, and that has been so awesome to see. So, I'm gonna end my video here, and if you've been sticking through the bad English, you are a real hero. Thanks for watching and take care.